I've said it once before, and I'm going to say it again. Raquel Ryan is going to share her story. So I want you guys to give it up for Raquel Ryan right now. Woo! All right. Come on in. Come on in. Does your microphone work? Oh, it's okay. It's brown, but I'm going to give her black.
Okay.
All right. Brown works now. Black works. All right, come on over here. So Raquel Ryan's going to share her story with us.
Yes, I am.
All right, so do you want us to switch back mics? Let's switch back. All right, go ahead, Raquel. Thanks.
Hi, guys. I'm a little nervous right now. So let's just pray really quick. I just want to invite God to be up here on stage with me because I'm scared. So God, we just thank you right now for this opportunity that you've given me to share my story. I pray that you'd be with me and not let me be scared. In your precious name, amen. Woo! Okay, so I'm sure all of us have heard the phrase growing up, show me your friends and I will show you your future. How many people have heard that growing up? Yeah, that was preached to me all the time by my parents. And so growing up, I thought that was something that you would tell the bad kids to keep them out of bad things, away from bad influences. And so I believed that. That put the fear of God in me. I'm I will have a good future. So I got good grades, and I was serving here at Ignited, the youth night. And I was really connected to God at that time. And then I graduated, and I watched all my friends go off to big universities across the country and across the world. And I felt very resentful towards my parents because they made me stay and go to community college, which was fine, but I was parents trying to crush my dream. So I felt very alone because I didn't know anybody that was going to that school. So I kind of threw myself into school and work, and I was I'm just gonna put my head down and I'm gonna get good grades. And finally my parents let me go away to Western. I followed my boyfriend at the time out there, and I was kind of praying that whole summer, God, I want to do awesome things for you out there, and I want to get involved with all the Christian groups and blah, blah, blah. And so I get out there, and move-in day happens, and I'm all on fire and excited, and a week goes by, and I'm sitting in my dorm room, and I am just sad. I miss my family. I miss my friends that are millions of miles away, and I was just I almost got mad at God. God, you let this happen. You let me get out here, and now I'm alone. And so I started hanging out with people that I kind of knew were not, you know how you know those people that you're I probably shouldn't be hanging out with these people, but they're the only people that'll talk to me. So I started hanging out with them, and they did a really good job of criticizing my faith and God. And so I got even angrier at God, God, you brought me these friends, and now this is happening. And so I kind of decided to lower my standards and became a person that I grew to hate. And I got involved with partying and drinking and swearing. It just totally changed who I was when I got out there. And by the end of the year, I had no friends. I was that mean and evil of a person. I pushed all these people away. My roommate has me blocked on literally every social media site known to man. And I was single. That relationship ended, and I moved home and was still very alone and sad. And now I have nobody. I've torched all those bridges. And so a couple months later, I moved out again to the west side of the state to live with a guy that I did not even know. And him and his friend, and we were roughing it, and it's expensive to live on your own. I didn't know that. I was just gotta get away from my parents. And so I moved out there, and because I was already accustomed to the party lifestyle, drugs just was the next step for me. And it turned into I was getting high every day and drinking every night, and that was my escape. I didn't want to deal with the pain of being away from my family and thinking that the people that wanted to be my friends didn't even care about me. And so that's what I did, and I was super mad at God, right? I wasn't going to talk to him. Why would he have me out here? And so I was okay with that for a little bit. That was my life. And then we all went to like our main drug dealer guy's house to pick up some supplies. And we were sitting around his coffee table, and I just had this feeling in my stomach. I was like, this isn't right. We gotta go, we gotta leave. And I didn't know why. I was just like, we have to leave right now. And they didn't understand it, my friends. And I finally got them out of the house, and we drove home, went to bed, everything was fine. The next morning we wake up, and all of our phones are like blown up with text messages and phone calls from these guys. The cops showed up and busted them and took everything, and they were in huge trouble. And I remember just thinking, like, I am so stupid. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing out here? And so I called my mom, and I was like, I want to come home. I'm done. I'm scared. This is not the life that I want. And so a couple weeks later, I moved home, and was still alone, right? I didn't know anybody that was back here. And I started working at a bank with Ryan Pyle. Woo-hoo. And he would get on my case all the time about, you need to go to church. You gotta go back to church. And I was like, Ryan, I am not going back to church. I'm not going to Cornerstone because all those people know me as this good girl that was serving and was so perfect. And I'm not that anymore. I felt like I was damaged. I felt like I was like dirty in a way. Like I didn't feel like I was good enough to be back at church and to have friends that cared about me. So finally, Ryan was like, all right, you gotta go. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And so I remember driving here, and I hadn't talked to God in a while, and I was like, God, all right, I'm doing this. You better bless this. Like, you better make this good. And so I walk through the doors, and I'm like, fists clenched, like, okay. And then I walk in the door, and everyone's like smiling and happy. And I remember Nicole Calic ran up to me and like hugged me. I've missed you so much. And like people that I had known from high school were here and saying hi, and we're just so happy. And people I didn't even know were hugging me, and I was like, what is happening? This place is crazy. But it was so awesome to be loved by people that didn't even know me and know what I had been through, but still embraced me and still loved me. And that night during worship, I remember just surrendering to God, like, God, I give you my life, I give you everything, this is yours now, do what you want to do, because obviously I can't do it right, I can't get it right. And so as I'm worshiping, I hear God whisper to me, stay. Just one word, stay. Because I had been debating on going back out to Grand Rapids to live there again, because I was just so done with living with my parents. And I was like, okay, God, well, I just surrendered to you, so I kind of have to listen to you. So I stayed. And I am so glad that I stayed, because now I am so involved here at Momentum. I love it here at Momentum. I'm a house party leader. I'm serving on a discipleship team, and I'm closer to God than I've ever been, and all the glory to Jesus. Woo!
Can you stay up here for a second?
Yes.
All right. I remember when you walked back through the door.
Oh, do you?
I do,
Yeah.
of course. Because, I was your youth pastor, kind of.
Yeah.
And then you left. I didn't know where you went. I didn't know what was going on. But you came back, and it was so good to see you.
Oh.
It was so good to see you. And I think that a lot of people do what Raquel did, is they say, I can't show my face because I've done too many bad things.
Yeah.
But it's not true. It's not true. Church is a place where no matter how far you might have gone, you can come home.
Yep, exactly.
You can come home. And we this is a great story of I don't know, maybe there's somebody in your life that maybe is where Raquel used to be, but they're there currently. And one day they're going to come back through the doors. And we can't hold anything against them, ever. but we must say, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. All right, give it up for Raquel.